Hey y'all, I'm Lisa with Vacay Vans. This is Fry, and this is Freebird, my Nissan NV 2500 high roof. I have been living in Freebird on and off for 4 years, and I have changed a lot and she has changed a lot. She didn't have cats, and now I have 2 in here. This was my full-time rig for 1 year, then I took a year off. I've kind of gone back and forth, investing in real estate, house hacking, which I can tell you all about, and now I'm living in my van with 2 cats while I rent out my homes on Airbnb. This is my sink. I have 5 gallons fresh water in a metal canister here, which is just better for drinking water. I have 5 gallons gray in this plastic container here. I have some toiletries. This is water for the cats. For kitty cats, I have a little lid on this water so I can drive so it doesn't go flying everywhere. Here's the kitchen storage. It's a little chaotic, but I got cat stuff, protein stuff, coffee stuff, all the essentials. I have a divider in this cabinet here, mainly for supplements and spices to be a little bit more efficient with the space. And then I left these open so I have space for bigger items like protein powder. My cabinet doors are made from barn wood flooring from Austin, Texas. I have a lot of reclaimed wood in here, a lot of sustainable materials, which you can see if you watch my other tour video. I go deep dive into all of that as well. And that video was like 3.5 years ago. So it's pretty trippy to see how much things have changed. I also have my toilet down here. I have a Laveo dry flush toilet, which I really like. I had all of the cabinetry built to the exact 1/4 inch to fit everything that I own and use. So the bathroom or the toilet here, let's open that up. It is like perfectly sized from the top and the bottom, and then it slides out when I use it. This drawer is basically like a junk desk office drawer. This is pretty much what I have for like office space. The upper cabinets close. They have gas struts that keep them secure and shut. This has worked really well. The bottom ones, I have Velcro, and it actually does work really well, keeping everything closed. If you get the real strong Velcro, it can do the trick. If I were to change anything about my sink, for example, I would choose one that was bigger. This is teeny tiny, so every time I wash my face, I get water everywhere. I wish that I had more than 5 gallons of fresh water. If I were to do this again, I would have 10 gallons because that's what I could fit under there, and I would not have gray water. I would just let that drip down to the ground, which is pretty common in van life, especially if you're using more sustainable soap. I am very happy with my kitchen storage setup. I haven't found myself needing any more storage at all. I do also have a big drawer that holds all my dishes and pans. And I've got hooks too. So I mean, hooks are a huge benefit. I have hooks for, you know, my bag and my coffee mug and things like that that really make a big difference in this tiny space. Fry would like to show you the upper storage here. So this is a really practical way to turn my kitchen into a bathroom. I think it's really nice to have a mirror. I have a few mirrors in my van. I love how I can turn this into a bathroom essentially and wash my face, brush my teeth, put on my makeup, do all the things that I like to do that are important to me, even though I live in a van. And I usually have a lot of my toiletries in this upper cabinetry here. Above the cab, I have this huge deep cabinet. That's where I put my window covers, my computer, laptop, shower items. Pretty much anything that's too big for the back cabinets, I just chuck it up there and we're good to go. I don't have a shower in Freebird. I didn't have too big of a problem with that really. Once you start living in a road, I think, at least for me, my understanding of cleanliness and dirtiness and the scale of that and what I was comfortable with changed over the years. Then I got really into fitness and working out. So now every time I go to a gym, a yoga class, I always just use their showers. So it's been a pretty easy solution for me. I know a lot of people that have solar showers or build out showers. Some of them use them all the time. Sometimes they become a big storage closet. Win-win. As far as I can remember, I always wanted to be an actor, but I was always told that that was impossible. And so I was advised that going to law school and being a lawyer would be the more responsible thing to do. So I did that and I hated it. And then when my mom died from breast cancer when I turned 30, I realized, oh my God, life is gonna end at any point, at any moment, and I'm wasting it doing something I hate. And that is around the same time that I discovered van life. And I realized that I could live in a van, not have to pay rent or mortgage, and not have to be a slave to, the corporate world. When I first moved into a van, I had a boyfriend at the time. We lasted 2 weeks and then broke up. I got a lot of crap about this in the first video I did with y'all 3.5 years ago. But I mean, honestly, I was heartbroken and I had no intention of living in a van by myself. I'm not a very outdoorsy kind of person. I had probably camped like twice in my life before moving into the van, but he didn't want the van and I didn't want to just give up on this adventure just because I was gonna have to do it alone. So I took 3 months to sit and be scared before I was ready to face my fears and hit the road solo. And now this has been the vehicle towards so much change and going after my dreams. And I'm just so grateful for van life. I have a Dometic 12-volt fridge. I'm pretty sure this thing is 48 liters. It's pretty big. When I realized I could fit the fridge in between the 2 front seats by removing the armrests, that was pretty much like an amazing moment because all of a sudden now I had double the storage for my kitchen items. So the fridge is in the front. I love where it's at. This fridge has been fantastic. I am a short person. I'm only 5'2", so it's super easy for me to hop back and forth above this fridge, which is basically what I always do. I always go in and out the sliding door. So it hasn't been a pain for me. If someone was 6'2" or taller, I could see they may not love this situation. For me, it's fine. And the size of my fridge is great. I'm able to fit a ton of almond milk and big yogurt containers, pretty much anything that I want to fit in there. I've always had space. Even when traveling with another person where we have a ton of food, this fridge size has been perfect. Freebird has become a little more feminine over the years. You'll see I have hanging clothes, hanging belts, and now I have hanging shoes. I actually just got this from Amazon. These shoe holders stick onto the wall. They're not even drilled in, and I can fit 6 pairs of shoes here. This is a space where things used to just be chucked and, this was kind of trash, honestly. So now it's an efficient way to store my shoes. One of the only things I've actually done to update this van, besides having 2 cats and the way that I live in it, is the curtains and the window covers. I sew. I love interior design. I have a background as a designer. So I recently updated these curtains and made them some fun retro vibes. This makes me super happy, even though some things are kind of broken in here, which I can point out. It doesn't matter because my curtains are beautiful. So this is the other half of my kitchen. I can pull this down and put chips and dip or a drink or something out in here, so I have a little outdoor space, which is nice and convenient. I also love this extra counter space. This is my favorite extra counter space ever in the world, and I use it all the time. It just makes cooking so easy, and then I don't have to worry about keeping this counter uncluttered. I have a 3-burner stove and a little 1-gallon propane tank. That actually will run for weeks. sometimes even over a month before I have to refill it. And I have a big drawer for all my kitchen stuff. This is as much storage as I need, so it's pretty perfect. Underneath, I have trash and recycling. So this is also super efficient. Even after 4 years, I am stoked on the kitchen and how I've organized it and measured everything. I have never really needed more space. I have a little extra storage here for my yoga mat, which is really nice. And the question that a lot of people are gonna wanna ask, where do I put my litter box? Da 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 da. I'm traveling solo, so I can put my litter box in the passenger seat. It's out of the way, I hardly ever smell it. I have the Breeze system litter box. It's a little different from a regular litter box because the pellets are bigger. I like it because they don't get all over the place and you can change out the pee pad less often. It is exponentially less nasty than regular litter in a van, in my opinion. And Fry digs it. When Freebird was originally designed, I designed her thinking that there would be 2 humans and 2 pit bulls in this van. And that was gonna be a really tight space. So when it became just me, all of a sudden I had a lot more storage. I really do love the convertible bed, but you grow over time, and I definitely have outgrown my 60 square feet. I want a closet, I want a permanent bed, I want some of these more luxurious van life amenities, but I didn't need them back then. And this is the perfect size for a stealth camper and for someone like me who could barely even park in the lines after 4 years of parking this thing. So it has evolved, I have evolved, but I'm really happy with how she's worked out over the years. It's pretty cool. She wasn't my first rodeo. I have renovated Airstreams and tiny homes before, and I'm really grateful for how she's been designed. So everyone has their own hero's journey, right? You are where you are right now, you're feeling frustrated, you're ready to move, and something is gonna catapult you to make a change in your life. And that change might be van life. If that is the route that you take, this adventure will change everything. It'll change things in ways that you never expected it to. It will be very, very hard and very rewarding. And when it no longer serves you, that's okay. I have taken a year off from living in this van. And then when it made sense, and when the van actually helped me reach my goals, I moved back in. I think people get stuck in this sort of expectation of others, like they're supposed to do it forever, or, you know, if you quit van life, if you can't take it, like, that's ridiculous. You know, I'm only gonna live in a van if it's helping me do what I wanna do in my life and helping me get to my goals. Whether that was finding myself, which was my first year on the road, or now, which is saving money on housing so that I can pursue other things. So moving on back to the back half of my living quarters, I love having storage for books. If you can have dedicated storage for things that you know that you use and love, I highly recommend that. This is a fake plant, but for many moons I had real plants in here. He will eat the real plant, hence the fake plant. It's really nice to have some greenery, so I do recommend greenery in the van. These are the lights that I actually use almost all the time. Just these little battery-powered lights. I got them from Amazon for like 20 bucks. They light everything, and they're a little less aggressive than the LEDs. I have the fantastic vent fan, which is great for moving air when it's kind of hot in here. I do also have an air conditioning from Dometic. I have never used this. Mainly because when it's hot, I just drive somewhere where it's not hot. I just go up in elevation. Also because when I tried to use it once, I couldn't figure it out. So this baby looks great, and maybe one day it'll be put to use. The overall design of Freebird was using more sustainable materials. So I have wool insulation tongue and groove walls, linoleum, marmoleum flooring, which is a renewable resource. This is one piece cut out of linoleum, which is kind of nice because leaks and things can't go through any cracks because there are no cracks for it to go through. I used wool about 4.5 years ago when I first did the van. So on my blog, I actually have a whole article all about wool sustainable insulation. You can definitely check that out. I think it's been really helpful to a lot of people, and a lot of people are starting to use more sustainable materials. One of the main reasons to do that, honestly, is because of the indoor air quality. You're living in 60 square feet of space. You have a very small amount of air in here. So I have no formaldehyde added wood, no VOC paint. Those little things help diminish off-gassing from chemicals from the construction materials, which is really important when you spend a lot of time in this tiny space. I have the bed-to-bench setup. So when I first moved into the van, I would always have this as 2 bench seats, so the whole thing becomes a queen-size bed. I made these cushions. They are a queen-size latex mattress that I cut up, and they fit perfectly in this space. So when I make the full bed, this entire space is smushed cushion to cushion, and it's very comfortable. I used to love turning it into 2 bench seats because I always had the back doors open because it's just so nice, you know, to work out there and have some space. But with the kitty cats, they like predictability. So this is now the cat center. As you can see, I have the cat toy. I've got like a little basket for them. I've got a blanket. So now I keep this pretty much always set up. At nighttime, I fold this blanket over and I make this whole thing into a bed. So now every day I'm making half the bed and turning that into my desk office area. These on the floor are stands for my table. I have 2 stands for the table, so I can either put the table here or further back when I don't have animals in here and I have the back doors open. But what I do now is this. So the back area stays made like a bed. The cats don't freak out because they have a place to kind of hide underneath. And then this is my little table for hanging out and working, doing all those things. I have a 4,000 watt inverter and a 100 amp hour battery that runs my fridge, that runs through the alternator, and my 240 watts of solar. If it's not sunny for like a day and a half, everything will just run out of juice. So I am so stoked to be upgrading to Battle-Born lithium batteries. I know that's going to be a total game changer and make it a lot easier to run my fridge and even charge my devices, which right now I only do that when I'm driving. My upper cabinets are mainly for my closet and some bedding. So these are also made from the same reclaimed wood material. And I kind of, you know, at some points I was organized. Now not so much, but I have a lot of clothes in here. One thing that I've missed so much from living in a van was a hanging closet, which is why I have clothes hanging kind of all over the place in this van. I really love hanging closets. I sew clothes, I design clothes. It's just an important thing to me. So the upper storage is nice, but man, if you can get a hanging closet, it's so nice to see the clothes that you have and, you know, be able to wear your cute stuff. Like, why else are you having it if you're not going to wear it? So I kind of made my own little hanging closet situation. I put a lot of thought into where to put the different windows. So that's a clerestory window, which is a higher up window, which is really nice for privacy. And then back here, I have 2 little windows for cross ventilation, which is very nice when you're sleeping. I've got a ton of stickers from over the years from van lifers and RVers all over the land. And it's been really fun. If you do move into a van or RV or camper, whatever, design a sticker. It is such a fun way to share with people and to connect and express yourself. watch 1,000 tour videos. You can watch them for days and weeks and months and years and never actually do it. But if this is what you want to do, you have to do it yourself. There's not going to be the one thing that you watch that's going to be the thing that's going to help you do it. This is already inside you. You have to just do it. And I want you to know that the point that you're at right now, right before doing the thing, this is the scariest point. Right before I turned the key the first time and was like, all right, solo van life, that was when I was the most terrified. And once you just go, all that fear melts away, because you don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to know where you're gonna park until you have to park somewhere. Don't worry about all these details, because you can't plan for adventure. And that is what van life is adventure. So I say just give yourself a deadline. I actually had somebody moving into my Airstream where I was living on a certain date. So I made myself houseless. I had to move into the van. Do whatever you have to do to kick yourself in the butt to make sure that you're actually gonna do it. And then know that there's so many people that are here to support you throughout. Strangers on the internet are here to support you. I have a crappy YouTube channel where I talk about van life sometimes. I'm here to support you. You just gotta do what scares you. Thanks so much for watching this video, watching this tour of me in Freebird. Links below if you want to follow my journey. VacayVans on Instagram and VacayVans on YouTube. I hope to see you on the road, y'all. Thanks so much.